Oh, yeah, my name's Blockhead. I don't know why someone would call me that. But here you're here doing a little distance learning. I hear Mr. Lofgren and I go way back. Not sure how far back we go, but it's a long time. A lot longer than you've been alive. That's for certain. But he just asked if I would do the introduction to his video and give you some words of encouragement. Okay? So, my words of encouragement are do what you're told and make sure you're getting sleep. Okay? Because if you don't get enough sleep, you look like me.
I have some really strange friends, don't I? Oh boy. Larry, you kind of feel bad for him because, his heart's in the right place, but he just seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Billy Bob, you'll get to meet him a little bit later and get to know him. He's just out to have a good time. He doesn't think too much about the future or the past. Whatever he's doing right now, that's the most important thing. But Blockhead, watch out for him. He's nothing but mischief. Welcome to March 31st, 2020. What an awesome first day of distance learning. Most of you, I got your assignments turned into me just like that. I love the communication that we're having through the Gmail. For those of you that have signed in and have responded, whether you have been emailing me and some of us have kind of just figured out how to do the messaging stuff, I am learning just like you are. So I'm going to be doing some further videos later in the week, kind of explaining some of the tools or features. But I'm just overwhelmed, boys and girls. I'm so overwhelmed that finally we're here and there was work put forth before you and you just got right to it and you're asking great questions. Your parents are helping you out. The AR tests are coming. Kids doing some IXL. Oh my gosh, Jackson Stahl. Brooklyn Volts. You two just nailed it yesterday. So you two are out in front for the IXL challenge that I sent out to your parents' email. So, but yeah, great. And on top of that, it was a beautiful day. Beautiful day. So you got a little work time in, and then you were able to get outside, hopefully, and enjoy the weather. So enjoy it because the next couple of days there's some chance of rain they're talking about, but the temperatures are supposed to be pretty nice. It's supposed to drop off, get much cooler later in the week. So go out there and enjoy the weather here the next couple of days, at least the temperatures. Had a wonderful birthday with my son. We had a great day. Woke up, he had his favorite breakfast, which are cinnamon rolls. That's what he loves to have. So he had some cinnamon rolls. And then he got up and did some of his distance learning too. He did some AR reading, and we read about the American flag. I've read that. I think I read that book to you earlier in the year about the history of the flag, and this was a different one that I found in the library. It was really cool. Learned a lot too. And then just read a book about cowboys. Just thought it was kind of neat. He thought it was a Dallas Cowboys book when I brought it home. He's like, "What's this book?" I said, "Yeah, cowboys. They're actual people, not the football team." Oh, okay. So we read that. And then I did send a link to the Google Classroom, and some of you are able to figure that out that have logged in. Otherwise, if you just go to Google and you search Bald Eagle Camera, Minnesota, my son's class and Mrs. Cook's class, they've been following this bald eagle and its eggs, and the 3 eggs hatched. And now the bald eagles have these 3 chicks. And you can watch what they're doing 24 hours a day. It's really cool. So Carter then had to do a little journal assignment there. It was really neat. And then the best part of the day, though, Carter wanted to have a home run derby with 8 of his favorite baseball players. So we did that yesterday, too. So it was an awesome birthday and a great first day of distance learning. So what are we going to talk about today? First of all, a couple of things I want to just show you for options. I did send everyone a copy of this game, Fill or Bust. I've noticed a few people, I've gotten a few pictures from people playing it. If you have, awesome. If you haven't, no big deal. I just want to throw this out there to you as an option for you to just work on your math skills. Okay, it's a great game. Grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles, boy, they love to play games like this. So if you haven't taken a look at it, try to do that sometime this week. One thing I didn't put in any of the notes, but I did send home some of this lined paper. When I put in there for things to do to write your name in cursive 5 times, I would really appreciate it if you used this paper. And I know I've put that under optional, but I'm just going to tell you right now, that's something that you need to do every day, okay? You need to be able to write your name in cursive. That is a very important skill. So please do that on this paper. Get in the habit. Habits, if you get into those habits, they're hard to break. So this is a good habit to be able to sign your name. Trust me, you're going to be signing your name a lot in the future, so might as well practice with it now using the paper that I've provided. So last thing too, I've gotten tons of pictures and some videos from lots of you, so my video tomorrow will be kind of highlighting what you all have been up to. And then my video tomorrow, too, I'm going to teach you we're going to do an art project. I'm really excited about this. This is a very simple art project that you can do. We're going to learn about a famous artist, teach the project, and it's a project that you can teach anybody. That's what I love about it. It's super easy. But it's one of those projects where there are certain rules, the things that we have to follow, but at the same time, everybody's project will look different. So that's what to look forward to for tomorrow. Alrighty, so the main part of my video here coming up next will be talking about math, okay? But before that, I just want to remind you of the other things that are expected of you. So first of all, today, you, in reading, continue with your AR. You guys are just doing an amazing job. Thank you so much. Get into those books. If you're at home and you need more books to check out or to read, first of all, go through your house. Go to AR Book Find. Look up anything that you have at home. There are lots of online reading resources. Epic is one of them. There's lots of other ones. I've sent all the resources to your parents in their emails. Or if you absolutely need books from school, contact Mrs. Drussel. She will get in touch with you in terms of how to pick the books up and when to get them. So email her. Have your parents get a hold of her, or you can just contact me and I can help out with that as well. Journal writing. Let's take a look at the journal writing topics for today. Pretty cool. You got 2 really interesting topics if you want my opinion. The first one talks about the Eiffel Tower, opened in 1889, March 31st. Your assignment is to design a landmark, a national landmark, and then write about that national landmark, okay? So, for me, gosh, maybe if I wanted to write about somebody, I could write about Parker Stotts. Oh, I'd like to write about Parker's Paradise. You know what happens there? Do, 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 do. Come to Parker's Paradise and I will hypnotize you. And take all of your money and spend it all on Viking stuff. Or was it napkins? I can't remember. Anyway, Parker's Paradise. That would be my national landmark I'd write about. The second option that you have, you're going to be writing about or listing some famous bunnies and then write your own bunny adventure. Gosh, I'm thinking, okay, Easter Bunny, duh. I would write about Bugs Bunny, personally. I love Bugs Bunny. There's probably other bunnies out there that maybe I'm not aware of, but pick one of those 2, write about it. Send me a picture of what you write about. I'd love to see that. Okay, let's transition to math. Math Minute, continue to work on those. Great way to learn your facts. I'm going to do another lesson on order of operations here in a minute. And then you will have 2 journal pages, and both of them will be graded today. So make sure you do those, take a picture of them, send them to me. Finally, social studies and science. If you're still working on your Canes Arcade project, go ahead and continue to do that. Love seeing some of these videos of what some of you've made. You'll see those tomorrow. And then you have all of your options. I hit on fill or bust. IXL, remember, check out math and language arts, the start items, and also social studies and science are now available. You can check those out too. Do anything in social or science. Lots of other things there for you to do. Go ahead and knock yourself out. And one thing that's not on there that you should all be doing is making sure you go and spend some time outside. Okay? All right, any questions there? Okay, so now what you need to do is you need to just get out your math journal, a pencil, and then either a scratch piece of paper, or if you want to use your whiteboard and your marker and find something to use for an eraser, an old sock or a Kleenex, I would greatly appreciate that. And oh no!
Bread, 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 bread.
Oh, that was some major news, dude. Thank goodness I was here to cover it first. You know, the Holly Distance Learning Network is always on the job. We're working 24/7 to make sure we have everything covered that affects you. So watch out for bread and make sure you don't run out of it. Just to tell you, I know mom and dad will be able to vouch for this. It's kind of hard to find bread these days. Okay, so I'm going to do another trivia question, a math question. Yes, remember from yesterday, the average person spends 8 minutes per shower. That's average, okay? Got another great question here for you. So one of my favorite foods, I guess you could kind of call it a food. It's more of a topping. You put it in with things. I like honey, okay? Think about this. Honey is obviously made from bees, okay? This right here is about 1 pint, okay? 1 pint. Another way to picture a pint is about double the size of your milk carton that you get at school, okay? That's a half pint, okay? So 2 times the size of that is a pint. So about the size of this. I want you to take a guess. How many honeybees does it take to produce 1 pint of honey? So to make 1 pint of honey, how many honeybees does it take to make 1 pint of honey? I will reveal the answer at the end of the program this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whenever you choose to watch it. Okay, so yesterday's kind of brand new concept that we talked about was order of operations. Okay, we identified the 4 main operations as being addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. You also should remember that if you have a number sentence put before you, that if you ever see parentheses, you do the problem in parentheses first or last. First, that is correct, okay? So you would do the problem in parentheses first. So what I want you to do is just get your whiteboard out or your pencil, and we're just going to do a few examples. And then I'm going to throw another twist at you here in a moment. So get out your whiteboard or pencil, and let's get to work here. So first of all, if we have a problem that looks like this, if I have 16 plus parentheses 10 times 1. Okay, this is a really easy one. 16 plus 10 times 1. Super simple. If we see we have parentheses first, 10 times 1 equals 10. 16 plus 10, that's 26. Done. Okay? I'll do a couple more with you, and then I'll let you have at it here in a moment. I'll erase this because I don't want to distract you. Okay? Trust me, I probably distract you enough. Okay, let's say I have this. Let's say I have 14 plus parentheses 3 times 5. Now, we're going to do the problem in parentheses first. 3 times 5 is 15. 14 plus 15. Many ways to do this. If you need to write it out off to the side, you may do it that way. Or if you want to add the 10s first, we have 10 here, 10 here. 10 plus 10 is 20. 4 plus 5 is 9. Put it together, your final answer would be 29. All right? Okay? All right, now I want you to do this one on your own. Okay? Here we go. You're doing this one on your own. Let's say I have 25, take away 9 times 2. Okay? 25 minus 9 times 2. You must know 9 times 2. That's a pretty simple fact. Okay? 9 times 2 is 18. 25 minus 18. You can do that in your head. If you can't do it in your head, you may use a number grid if you need to, or you may write it out like this. And if you want to do traditional subtraction, we're going to borrow from that 10. That's going to be a 1. Take or put the 10 over here. We're going to have 15 minus 8. That would equal 7. 1 minus 1 is 0. Your final answer would be 7. Okay. What if we have a problem like this? What would we do then? Check this out. What if we had a problem like this? Let's say we have a problem in parentheses, and it's 5 plus 5, okay, times, and then we have another set of parentheses over here. Check this out. 5 times 5, or excuse me, 5 plus 5 times 4 plus 4. What in the world are we going to do here? I have 2 sets of parentheses. Which one do we do? Well, remember, we always want to go left to right, correct? Unless there are parentheses. But in this case, we have 2 sets of parentheses. So if they're both in parentheses, let's start from the left. 5 plus 5, easy. That's 10. I can't do anything with this yet because I don't know what that is. I haven't solved this yet. But common sense tells you 4 plus 4, you double it. That's what? You've known that probably since you were about 4 or 5 years old. That is 8. Now what we do is we're going to take 10 times 8, which is the year I was born, 1980. 1980. 80. Not 1980. 80 would be the answer. Okay? I'm going to give you one like that to do on your own just for fun. You're not going to see any in your math boxes, but I just thought I'd throw that out at you because it's Tuesday and it's the last day of March and, you know, what have you. So let's say I have this problem. Check it out. You'll do this on your own. 10 minus 7, okay, times 30, take away 20. Okay. I'm going to step away for a minute. They're both in parentheses. So you're going to start on the problem on the left side. You're going to take 10 minus 7. Figure that out. Then you're going to take 30 minus 20. Find the difference between those two numbers. So you're finding the differences. 2 different problems where you're finding differences. And then once you find the differences of those two, you're going to multiply them. 10 take away 7, 3. 30 minus 20, that is 10. 3 times 10 is 30. Now you know how to do a problem that has 2 sets of parentheses. Okay? Not too difficult if you know what to do. What I'm going to highlight tomorrow is what happens if you get just in a regular number sentence when you have, let's say, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. There's all kinds of different ones in the same number sentence. So tomorrow I'm going to cover that. I want you to get your math journal open to page 207. Okay, 207. I think that's the page. Yeah, 207. make sure you have your math journal open to page 207. If you need to pause the video first to get your stuff ready, that's fine. But I want you to turn to page 207. You will have 2 pages due today. And I want you to take a look at page 207. The top 6 problems, I feel now after we've done a couple of days of some practice problems, I feel pretty confident you could do 1 through 6. 7, 8, 9, and 10 are a little trickier, and I wanted to show you. I'm going to go through number 7 with you so you have a general idea what to do. Above number 7, it says draw parentheses to make each number sentence true. Okay? When it says true, we want to make sure that the problem is correct. Okay? I am a human being. That is true. I am not an alien. Okay? As much as you might think that I am. I did not come from Neptune, so I am from Earth. Okay? True means we want it to work out the way it's supposed to work out. So if I look at this problem, it says 20 minus 10 plus 4 equals 6. But somewhere in the problem, I need to add parentheses to make it work out. How do I do this? Well, we're going to just do something called trial and error. Trial and error. I'll write that on the board. Let's see here so I know what I'm doing. Trial and error. What trial and error means, what that means, if I trial and error, is that I try something, and if it doesn't work out, that's an error. So an error is a mistake. It's not the right thing. So I'm just going to try something new to figure it out. Okay, trial and error. Okay. So let's take a look. 20 minus 10 plus 4 equals 6. So I need to add parentheses somewhere to make this number sentence true. So let's just say, all right, I'm going to go around the 20 minus 10, do that first, and then add 4 and see if I get 6. 20 minus 10 is 10, okay? So if this is 10, 10 plus 4, does 10 plus 4 equal 6? No, it does not equal 6. No, it's not correct. So I can't put the parentheses there. That number sentence is not true. So that's part of my trial and error. I tried it. It didn't work out. Now I need to try something else. So let's try to put the parentheses around the 10 plus 4. So now I'm going to do the 10 plus 4 first. Why? Because they're in parentheses. 10 plus 4, that equals 14. Now I have 20 minus 14. 20 minus 14, okay? That does equal 6. How do I know? Well, if I add, I can take 6 plus 14, that would equal 20. Then I know if I can do both, subtract this way or add this way, I know my number model checks out. This problem, I must put the parentheses around 10 plus 4 to make this work out. Okay, you understand that? We'll do one more together because I'm a nice guy. I'm going to help you with one more here in a minute. Okay, this problem is number 9, not number 8, number 9. So 7 and 8 are pretty simple. 9 and 10 are a little trickier. So I did the one easier one for you, and then now I'm going to do one more of a challenging one with you here as well. So number 9 says 100 minus 21 plus 10 equals 69. Okay. What's our first course of action? What should we do? Well, we could go do the trial and error here. Take a look. So I'm going to grab a different color marker here. So I'm going to just start it from left to right. I'll put my parentheses around 100 minus 21. Okay, so I'm going to do that first. Well, if I know I can do this in my head, 100 minus 20, if we round that to 20, 100 minus 20 is 80. Okay, I take one more away. That's 79. So in my head, 79. 79 plus 10. Does 79 plus 10... Am I going to go down 10? No, I don't think so. 79 plus 10 is 89. I need to get to 69. So I'm going to just erase this. And let's just make sure there's no typo in the book, because don't believe everything you read, okay, or see. So let's put those parentheses around the 21 plus 10. Let's do that first. 21 plus 10, I'm adding a 10 to that 21. 31. 100 minus 31. If we take 100 minus 30, 90, 80, 70, that's 70, right? Now I'm going to just take one more away from 70. Bada bing, bada boom, that's 69. We know where the parentheses go. They go around 21 plus 10 to make that check out, okay? So do numbers 8 and 10 on your own. And the number 11, you have a problem where you have two students, Amanda and Jerry. One of them says the problem equals this. One of them says the problem equals that. Imagine that. Two people having a disagreement. I bet you haven't had any disagreements or arguments in the whole distance learning process, have you? Yeah, that's fake news. So do numbers 8, 10, and 11 on your own for page 207. All right, I need you to turn to page 208 in your math journal. I'm going to take this opportunity to go through each of the 5 math boxes for you. So I would pay close attention, because there are a couple of things in here that might throw you off. Look at box number 1. You see this kind of rectangular thing, and part of it's white and part of it's blue. Okay. First of all, that rectangular thingy, that's called a beaker. Okay. A beaker is typically it's a glass container that people that are doing experiments, or scientists, or people in the medical field that are using different various liquids will use a beaker to measure liquids. You can see on the beaker that it has 2 numbers, 500 ml and 1000 ml. The ml stands for milliliters, okay? Milliliters. It's a metric form of measurement, okay? We have not talked much about the metric system, and we haven't really talked much about liters and milliliters. If we did, it was a long time ago. The question says, shade the beaker to show 1 liter of liquid. Well, it's at 500 milliliters right now, and you need to shade it into, to shade 1 liter. Well, I wonder what number of milliliters equals 1 liter. If you guessed 1,000, you are correct. So shade the beaker to show 1,000 milliliters, which is the same as 1 liter. You got it. Go to box 2. Label each part with a fraction. You can see that the rectangle there is split up into how many parts? You guessed it, fourths. So each part, label it with a fraction. So if each part is 1/4, so that's what you would write in each box, 1/4. And then it asks you to shade in 2 parts of the whole rectangle. Then you need to write down the fraction you shaded. Okay, it could be one of 2 different answers that you could write down for that. Number 3 is pretty simple. You have to shade in what it asks you and then circle the larger fraction. That should be very simple. Number 4 should also be fairly simple, dealing with time. That's why I had you do those time activities last week if you were able to do so. You have Natalia. She has a saxophone lesson, starts at 3:30. If she arrives at 3:15, how many minutes early is she? Fill in the circle. That's the correct answer. And then down to number 5, the final one, we have a ruler. It's asking for how many half inches are shown on this ruler. It labels the first half inch for you. What you need to do, what I would do, is I would just go label each half and then count how many halves you counted. We did this on our other rulers way back when. Gosh, that was before Christmas, I believe. So that's what you'll do for number 5. Label the half inches on the ruler and then just count them up and then write that answer on the line for number 5. And guess what? Your DONE done!
Whoa. Oh man, my brain hurts. I can't do this teaching no more. So I took a little brain break and headed over to Itasca State Park. There must have been some last day of March spell going on or something, because when I touched the water, I turned back into a fish. So I swam down here to the Gulf of Mexico. So I'm going to just take it easy here for the rest of the day while you kids do all your work. Send me pictures of your 2 math pages and your Studies Weekly crossword puzzle and picture match. If you haven't done that, send it to my email. Today I want you to do a couple of other things. Make sure you're fooling around with your Gmail stuff. Send emails, send messages. Make sure you get logged in and enjoy the fresh air outside. The water sure smells good and feels good down here. Get outside and get some exercise. Last thing, here comes the answer to the trivia question. How many honeybees does it take to make 1 pint of honey? You're going to find out real soon. Have a wonderful Tuesday, kids. I miss you. Goodbye.